Hey everybody, and welcome back to Techmas, and today is day 8. And as always, I want to start by sharing the Christmas part of Techmas, and I want to share a couple sweet family traditions that we have. First of all, I grew up in a family with not a lot of money, which I'm not ashamed of whatsoever, so shout out to all my struggling people. The struggle is not just real now, it was real. But I remember years when my little brother, who was, the difference in us is I'm 36 now. I have a younger brother who's 34 and then one who's 30. So little brother is a 6-year difference from me. And I remember if there wasn't enough money to do great Christmas for all of us, which we always had a good Christmas, but if there wasn't enough money to do great for all of us, then my dad would tell, the two older ones, hey, Jamie still believes in Santa Claus. I want him to get the most stuff or whatever, which was cool. So the tradition was that the youngest would always get to go look first. And so my dad, if we had stairs in our house or if we were in the other room, whatever, he would always, make us wait, and then Jamie got to go down the steps first. We went down in order of age, which was really cool. The other cool tradition that we stopped somewhere along the way, but I thought it was really cool, was we had a little bell, and I was going to have a bell to ring for you, and I don't think I own a bell, so that could be a good Christmas present for me, to myself. But whoever would wake up on Christmas morning would ring a little, like a dinner bell almost, and tell everybody else, hey, it's Christmas time. And we weren't allowed to go down and look until everybody was awake with the sound of the bell. So just little cool things. Some other things I've shared are some great places to see lights, Christmas fudge. If you missed any of those, then make sure you go back and check the other videos, because we're already on day 8. So if you haven't been watching, you've been missing out. But tonight, the tech part of Techmas is me showing you this cool thing that I discovered at GATC this year. GATC is a huge 4,000 person conference. It's really grown just since I've been going for, the last several years. It meets in Atlanta every year in, I think it's the second week of November. It's definitely in November, and we're down near the airport. So if you're in town, try to join us next year. But one of the coolest takeaways from that is actually a Google integration. Now, the district I work for is a Microsoft district, but I still have a personal Google account, and kids can still have a personal Google account, which is fine. As far as what school you're at, you check with them on their policies. But in order to use Pear Deck, you do have to have a Google account, so I will go ahead and give that caveat here. But let me talk to you about Flashcard Factory. It's an integration for Pear Deck, and then I know I have a lot of Quizlet fans, especially at the middle school where I work. And so I want to talk to you guys about Pear Deck and Quizlet, a little bit about the integration. So Pear Deck is the first game to be created by, Flashcard Factory is the first game to be created by Pear Deck. And you get there by going to this address. I'm going to use my favorite little Google add-on here, Crafty Text. If you missed my tour of my favorite Google add-ons the other night, you need to check that out. But I wanted to make this bigger. So it's peardeck.com/vocabulary. So if you go to that address, you can do exactly what I'm about to do with you, okay? So just my tip is I have a personal Google account because I have a Gmail, but then I have one that I do all my school stuff on. That way, if it did get shared with somebody, it's not such a big deal. So you can have as many Google accounts as you want. That's totally fine. So I'm logged in here with my teacher Google account. Let me show you what Flashcard Factory is. So I'm gonna go over to another tab here. And what it is basically, what flashcards are, that. But typically, the teacher creates the flashcards, the students review them, blah, blah, blah. That's so boring. I don't know if you guys are like me or like the creators of this game, but I used to be so bored with having to write sentences for vocabulary words that I would make up really bizarre sentences and make myself laugh. I remember being in 6th grade, walking around the neighborhood, and my friend and I had to make up, I don't know if it was my homework or hers, but you had to make up sentences for vocabulary words. And so we made up really bizarre ones, and that helped us remember. So the teacher's job on this game is that you go to Pear Deck and you create a new vocabulary list, or you can pull one in from them. There are lists, they call it pulling from the orchard, which is kind of cool. But I just made my own. And when you get there, there is a connection with the Merriam-Webster dictionary, which is really cool. And they will, and I think they spelled Merriam-Webster wrong here. I may need to tell them that. So Lee Coker, if you're on, you'll have to look that up and tell me if it's spelled wrong in the comments. But anyway, so when you create your words, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Give me just a second. It may not want to zoom while I'm broadcasting, but let's see. Okay, there we go. So as the teacher, when you put in the word, you have the option to type your own definition, or you can copy and paste from a list or you can come over here and do find definitions, and that is connected to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. And it gives you several options. You could choose the one you like. So that's what I did for my game tonight that I've had some friends help me participate in. And then you project that to the front of the room. And what it's going to give the students is a join code. So it'll tell them to go to join. It was an easier thing than this. Let me see. It was something like joinpd.com or, oh shoot, I'm on the wrong tab, sorry. But it was something easier than peardeck.com/join, but you can probably still get there, okay? And then once students have joined, they clock in because, again, we're on the Flashcard Factory. And what it does is it puts them on teams, okay? It gives you the night shift team. So you're looking right here at a game that's in process, and I'm going to show you in just a minute what happens. It gives you either the day shift team or the night shift team, and that's what these colors are, sunshine and evening. They have the same words, but it breaks the students into teams and allows them to work on definitions together. Excuse me, not definitions, you've already provided those, but allows them to work on illustrations together and sentences together. Sometimes it'll ask for a sentence, sometimes it'll ask for an illustration, and those can be funny. And I'll show you the next process of it. So the next process is after the students are done, like it gives them one word at a time and it sends it to their devices, okay? So it'll take a word out of here, it'll drop it onto the, what do we call this, y'all? The thing that rolls, not the belt line, the conveyor belt, thank you. It drops it onto the conveyor belt and it tells them on their phone, either draw this or write this, okay? And as a team, they're supposed to be collaborating. So you can have them sitting together in the room working on these definitions. Now, my friends that helped me tonight, we were asynchronous. We were at different places. So it was more individual work tonight. But you can have them actually move to where they can collaborate on these illustrations and definitions, okay? You've given them the definition. You've given them the word, but they illustrate and write about it, okay? When you are ready, you're going to move into quality control to approve those. So I'm about to move into quality control here for a set of words I've never seen. You're seeing them right here with me. So here's me. I'm the foreman, okay? And I'm going to go into quality control. And this person said, I can't draw from my phone, lovely. But I drew this illustration, and I said tangible means you can touch everything. It's touchable. So I drew a snail, isn't that lovely? And a tree, and there's no brown in there, which I think is a deficiency, and an apple. And the person is reaching out and touching everything. So I, as the foreman, I was a student here, but just playing along. But I, as the foreman, either say, that's terrible, or yay, it's good. And when I click yay, it's good, it gives it the stamp of approval, and that team gets a point. Okay, this person also said tangible. I think this shows them smelling it. I don't know. I don't know. They're touching it, they're smelling it, and they have a bendy knee. I don't know. But I'm going to give them, for touch and smell, I give them credit. Okay, and I get the stamp of approval. Okay, water is vital. Oxygen is vital. Love that. Okay, I'm going to give them approval. You see how this works? Isn't this cool? So the kids are able to really process, and it's not, can you draw? What are those diagrams we've had kids draw forever? Y'all, it is so late, and I'm just going blank. But, they're 4 squares, and we have them draw, write a sentence, and they were really cool when they first came out, but now they're not. This person, I think, says love is vital, but I don't know. I'm going to see what happens when I X them out, okay? It's rejected, and it will not go to my master list. Okay, eclectic power, can't even tell what that is. I'm going to X that out. Sentiment is pride. Oh, they have Hallmark movies causing you to have sentiment. I'm going to say yes on that one, okay? So what happens is once those have been loaded into the truck, only the ones that were approved. What's so cool about this is I have all the power as the teacher. But if I do this on the projector, the students can say, I have no idea what that is, or yes, I want to vote for that, or whatever. And when I'm ready, I can send these to Quizlet. Now, I don't have my Quizlet account logged in right now, but it'll send it to Quizlet, and anything you can do on Quizlet, you can do, such as Quizlet Live. It says all the games, so I'm assuming that one. But anything you can do on Quizlet, you now have student-generated cards. So not only have they practiced with their drawing and their writing, but then they can go practice, practice, practice until they're ready for the quiz. So y'all, don't you think this is so cool? I want to see this be my most explosive Facebook Live yet. So if you loved it, leave a comment, share it with a friend, go tweet it, tell your mama, tell your neighbor, and I hope you guys come back tomorrow for our next evening of Techmas. Take care.